Hello, friends. This is Parag here, your host on Stay Strong podcast. Thank you very much for joining this podcast today. It's my promise to bring you the world-class information in the field of kettlebells, kettlebell sport, and strength and conditioning. Today, we have Graham Morris from UK, who is a working professional. He's working professional in engineering background. He was practicing judo for 15 years, and at the age of 53, he started lifting kettlebells. It's been 7 to 8 years he's actively lifting kettlebells, lifting 2 to 3 times a week. Apart from that, he's also actively involved into taking the online competition, and he's also a committee member for English Kettlebell Association. We are going to understand how does he really program his overall a week program for the kettlebell, how does he lift, what kind of nutrition does he take, and how does he manage his professional life and kettlebell lifting simultaneously and actively participating into the competition. Guys, please help me welcome Graham from UK. Hello friends, this is Parag here. We have Graham Morris in the house today. Over to you, Graham. Please introduce yourself, your professional background, and how did you get started with kettlebell sport?
Yeah, hi Parag. Yeah, I'm 60 years old now.
Okay.
It seems a shock to me that I'm suddenly that.
Okay.
I've been working a long time. Professionally wise, I left school at the age of 16 and took an engineering apprenticeship.
Okay.
So I've done many different jobs within engineering, mostly from a design background. I was a mechanical design draftsman, designing machinery for the steel industry. So
Okay.
I moved on to be a works manager, managing director, technical sales, all those things.
Okay.
In fact, I've been to India quite a number of times on sales visits.
Wow, really? Which place?
Yeah, I've been to Jamshedpur, which is the headquarters of Tata Steel.
Yes.
And I've also been to, I think it's VSPL, which is just going north from Bangalore.
Okay.
Okay, so I've been to the big cities and
Wow.
various.
Wow. Incidentally, I am a mechanical engineer too. So I was based in the US, and I also have a similar background what you have. I was also into design. I was into design of drive axles.
Excellent, good. So
Okay.
we're colleagues then.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So how did you get started with the kettlebell sport, Graham?
Yeah, well, by accident really.
Okay.
It was my wife that got into it first, Maxine, who you've interviewed previously. So
Yes.
yeah, she got into it. She watched it on the internet. And I found myself taking her to lots of kettlebell competitions and just standing watching.
Okay.
And at first, I got quite bored really. I used to go out for a walk, and
Okay.
eventually I thought, if I'm here, I might as well take part. So I started taking a go at it myself and got hooked.
Okay.
Started to really enjoy it.
Okay. So it's been how many years now you're lifting kettlebells?
Well, 8 years. I started at 52. And,
Okay.
yes, 8 years.
7 years, 8 years. Okay. Now, did you had any background before you start kettlebells? Like, my question is precisely with fitness, like lifting weights or probably doing like kind of a marathon. Like, as you know, most of the people prefer to go for a walk or for a run, or
Sure.
they do kind of a marathon running. So, any background you have, Graham?
Yeah. I've always enjoyed sports, since school. I was in school football teams and things like that. But during my 20s, I didn't do a lot of organised sport because life was busy with work and bringing up small children, and just played football really. But I got into my 30s and started taking my two sons to a local judo club.
Okay.
And they didn't carry on with the sport, but I started doing the dad's session after their session.
Okay.
33 then, and I got totally hooked with judo. I had a fantastic time. It was such an enjoyable sport, and I did that from the age of 33 right till I was 48, so about 15 years.
Okay.
trained a lot with that. I was training 3 times a week, went to various different local clubs. I got to second Dan grade with that and did quite a few competitions. So yeah, it's a great sport. That's sort of towards the end of that, I started doing some no-gi submission type wrestling as well. So that was a lot of fun. I even tried my hand at sumo wrestling a few times. So that was great fun. That was great fun. And my friend has a boxing gym over at Derby, which is the city nearest to us. So I was sparring regularly at his boxing club too. So yeah, just generally enjoying myself and not taking it all too seriously.
Wow. So with your background of judo, how it has helped you in kettlebells? So you started kettlebells for kettlebell sport, or do you started kettlebells for kettlebell fitness? What was your earlier journey 8 years back?
No, it was straight into kettlebell sport in a club in Nottingham. And I really struggled at first with mobility because one of the reasons I stopped the judo was because I was getting so many injuries. It was full contact sport. And I'd injured both shoulders in the process and injured elbows. And I didn't really have the mobility at first to be able to get my arms straight up at the side of my head. And frankly, I still don't have the mobility to get both arms up in a straight line. But I've improved a real lot, over the 8 years. The mobility started to come back. And I think that's been one of the benefits of the kettlebell sport. It's got my body, moving again. I'm a lot more supple than I used to be.
So do you choose 10-minute classic events mostly, or do you do marathon?
No, I started off with the 10-minute GS time lifting, but as I say, I wasn't particularly good at that. Really just lacked the mobility with the double bell lifts. So I did try it. I went to the World Championships as a veteran in 2016. There was an RGSF comp in Greece. I had a try, but I didn't do too well. I mean, when you're an old guy, there's often not many in the category. So I came third anyway because there was 3 of us. So I got a medal by default. But I enjoyed the experience, and I've done lots of small competitions where there were sort of 5-minute comps, and I always have a go at the double bells, even though I'm not so good at it. But really, mainly, my interest has been in marathon and half marathon, pentathlon, and more latterly World Games, which is the IKMF's 10-minute multi-switch lifts. So a little bit of everything, really. And of course, each month I do a different lift anyway, because I do the online challenge. And I'm one of the admin team for that. So the lifts each year are mostly my fault because I made the list. But I mean, I also have to do them, which is the downside.
So as you mentioned that you had faced some injuries in judo, and now in kettlebells, when you're practicing, do those injuries call back? Do you have the injuries? Do you have that pain in shoulder or maybe back? How do you manage that?
I'm much better than I was. Unfortunately, I've not been able to train for 2 weeks now because I have some back pain. I'll come to that. But generally speaking, kettlebells has improved me, not made me worse. And I would say that my back and core strength has improved greatly. And my posture's better. I stand straighter. So generally, it's improved me. So I've not really particularly injured myself with kettlebell sport at all. But at the moment, I've been trying to train for the IKMF World Games event, snatching a 40 kilo. Which is a bit crazy at age 60, but I think I'm just having a a delayed midlife crisis, you know, or something like that.
Okay.
It's just a bit of fun, really. One of the problems I've got with it is the first rep. So to get that kettlebell off the floor straight up, snatching straight up to the top is you need quite a lot of effort. And so far we've been told that you can't do a swing before the first rep, so you can't even get the thing moving. So I actually have a problem with the left elbow from an old judo injury. So to protect that, I've been trying to start on my right, which is not normal for me.
Okay.
It's a bit my arm stronger. But with diagonals in kettlebells, that means all the force is going down. If I start with the right hand, all the force is going down the left leg. And I have an old back injury down the left side, so unfortunately it's aggravated it. So it was a really bad plan to try and start on the right hand. I'll go back to what I normally do for the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so in case of such kind of injuries, what is the precautions what you take? Like, do you also incorporate strength training programs, a kind of a little bit rehabilitation? How does your program look like for a week?
Well, to be honest, Parag, you know, my training's not that serious. You know, I'm still working full time.
Yes.
You know, I'm still quite active in the local church that I go to. So I'm a busy guy. So
Okay.
I wouldn't say that I'm a serious athlete.
Okay.
I do the sport for fun. I spend a lot of time on it, and I probably normally would train just twice a week. I've found that as I get older, if I train more than that, it actually it sends me backwards, not forwards.
Okay.
So to train less, really.
So why do you say that? Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, because I just get too stiff and my elbows start to hurt too much.
Okay.
So it may be to do with the type of lift I'm trying to do at the moment and the fact that I'm training with fairly heavy kettlebells. So for doing heavy kettlebells for half snatch, you know, I have to just space out the training sessions well to let everything recover.
Okay.
But it's certainly got more and more important for me to do, to take plenty of time to warm up. You know, I don't go straight in and lift something heavy. I'll probably spend half an hour just going through range of motion exercises. And, you know, Maxine, my wife, she's always telling me that I've got to do this, you know, so, you know, I'm getting the message eventually. So I spend plenty of time doing that, getting everything moving. Then I'll go right through the range of kettlebells. You know, I'll just start by picking up a 16 and I'll pretty much go through a ladder, just 1 or 2 minutes, all the way up to the competition weight. And, you know, then my body's ready.
Ready,
you know,
yes. Okay.
And I think that's just more and more important as you get older. You can't go from zero to hero, you know, you have to go.
Yes.
Through the stage. Yeah.
Okay. What are your 2 biggest challenges physically and mentally when you're lifting kettlebells, when you're actually doing the training programs with your competition weights before the competitions, 2-3 months before the competitions? So 2 biggest challenges physically and mentally.
Well,
and how do you manage it?
Okay. I don't find it too challenging mentally.
Okay.
If I was training for marathon, I train in my garage at home. I don't go to a gym, and I have a TV in there. So if I was training a marathon or half marathon set, I'd probably put a film on the TV and watch the TV while I left.
Okay.
So my mind just goes into autopilot, and I just completely relax and try to be really smooth with the lifting, because that's the main thing with lifting a long time, is just to be smooth and efficient and relaxed. With the trying to lift anything heavier, the biggest problem that I have is to avoid injuring myself or making myself too stiff before the competition.
Yes.
Which I'm very hit and miss these days. You know, as I've got older, I've become I'm more erratic. You know, some weeks my body wants to do this, and other weeks not.
Okay.
You know, I seem to hit a peak really in 2020 when I was 58, and most of my PRs are from 2020. 2021, of course, we've had the pandemic and disturbed things, and I got quite ill after having the COVID vaccine.
Okay.
Yeah, the AstraZeneca vaccine, and it caused me to go hyperthyroid, and I had to be medicated for thyroid problems.
Okay.
And to be honest, I've struggled to really get back since then. You know, I do suffer from very low energy some weeks.
Okay.
And then the next week I'll be back to my old self. So training programs for me are very, very erratic, really. You know, so that's the biggest challenge for me right now. The consistency of training.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So with these training programs and with what your current schedule is, do you follow any kind of a specific nutrition program? How does it look like? Vegetarian, non-vegetarian, or do you have any kind of supplements? What it is, if you can just...
No, nothing at all, Parag. You know, Maxine cooks very healthy for me, and I don't cook myself. You know, I can't cook, won't cook. You know, and so I just have a good balanced diet, plenty of protein, plenty of meat, vegetables. Try not to eat too much sugar, so try out.
Nice.
Yeah, so I've recently been trying to cut down on alcohol. So I very rarely drink beer now. Just, enjoy probably a couple of bottles of red wine a week.
Okay.
So, which is just a little less calories and.
Yes. Okay.
So I do like a drink, but trying to moderate things, just to keep the weight off.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. In your past 8 years, do you had any kind of negative experience with kettlebells while lifting? Anything? If you want to share.
I think that the most negative thing I've experienced at competitions is poor judging.
Okay.
I mean, it's a very difficult thing.
Yes.
To get enough judges at competitions, because generally speaking, you have to pick the judges from amongst the competitors that are there.
Yes.
There isn't a huge team of judges there, so within that group of people, obviously you've got experienced people and you've got people that are less experienced and less good at judging. So I find the judging can be quite inconsistent, even at World Championships.
Yes, it happens.
Very much. Well, all the World Championships that I've been to, I've noticed some good judging and some very poor judging. So I find that quite frustrating.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the only negative thing I've got to say, really. Other than that, it's just a really friendly, bunch of people.
Yes.
And, it's a happy sport. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a positive point which you have mentioned, I think, openly, and it's really great for the people who are watching this and who are also into judging, would like to ensure that the judging has to be definitely the strict one. Yeah, that will improve the quality of the lift automatically. Sure. Yeah. Okay. So have you been coached by anyone? Have you hired a coach? What is your experience with and without coach? If you can just share that.
Yeah, I had some brief coaching from a friend of mine, Chris Guile. But we didn't do it for too long. And to be honest, since then I've never had a coach. I just tend to look after myself, and I'm not so disciplined. I tend to train and do what I want to do, what my body feels like doing, and I think that's partly to do with age.
Okay.
And judging what your body has an appetite for.
Okay.
But it's partly because just time, and I think if I was a more serious athlete at the top of the sport, then of course I can see that a coach would be a good thing. But I live for fun, really.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. As you mentioned that you're still a full-time working professional, and you just try to kind of squeeze in the time so that you can remove at least 2-3 hours a week.
Yeah.
So, but do you do strength training, Graham? I mean, like lifting weights, maybe
No, not
squats, deadlifts, maybe once a week or something like that.
no, not at all, Parag. Maybe
Okay.
I should, but I don't really find there's energy to do that as well as the kettlebells.
Okay.
I think one of the reasons I like the pentathlon in kettlebell sport is because you've got a big range of exercises there. So, I like to do that as general training. If I'm going to do something other than the lift I'm particularly training for, then I'd perhaps go through the pentathlon lift.
Okay.
Yeah. But I've done a lot of strength training and things in the past.
Okay.
So I entered the sport with a fairly good fitness base and strength base.
Yes. Yes.
And really, I think generally speaking, what I've done is just strengthen my core really with the kettlebell work.
Okay. Great. Okay. Wow. If you can just share your best numbers in kettlebell sport when it comes to 10-minute classic and marathon.
Okay. I wrote a few down. So 30-minute lifts, half marathons, 24 kilo snatch. Did 431 is my best.
Okay.
Half snatch, 24 kilo, 394.
Okay.
One arm long cycle, 22 kilos, 309.
309.
309, yeah.
Okay.
Then 60-minute lifts, snatch 20 kilos, 827.
Okay.
One arm long cycle, I've done 20 kilos. I'm not so good at that one, but so I do around 520.
Okay.
Pentathlon, I enjoy, but I'm not so good at it.
Okay.
1430 is my best score.
Okay.
Points.
Okay.
12-minute military snatch, 24 kilos, 226 was the best.
Okay.
GS single switch snatch at 147 is the best for the 24.
Okay.
And I've been trying to do this 10-minute World Games, which is the multi-switch half snatch.
Okay.
So with a 36, I've done 97.
Okay.
But with the actual comp weight now is 40 kilos for me. Even at veteran 3, it's still 40 kilos, which I think is a bit crazy.
Yes.
So far, I only got to 8 minutes, and I've done 55 reps in 8 minutes. So,
okay.
But I'm struggling with it. I'm not sure whether to carry on with this lift or not, or whether it's going to be too much. But at the moment, I'm just having fun,
Okay. Yeah, it seems like you had played a lot of competitions, including online and offline. Is that so?
I've done a lot of competitions. Yeah,
yes,
that's right.
Yes.
Also run a lot of competitions. I ran several online competitions through lockdown, along with Del Wilson, who's a good friend.
Yes.
And of course, we do the online challenge every month.
Okay.
I'm also one of the committee members for the English Kettlebell Association. So I'm heavily involved in a lot of things that are happening in the UK.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, great. Wow. So yeah, it is really inspiring that at this age you are doing so many competitions. Unlike the other people, if you actually compare in India at the age of 60, people really do not want to get going with the gym activity or maybe any kind of exercise. And this kind of inspirational talk is really important for me, because that's what I bring on via this podcast, to reach out maximum people that you should really start lifting kettlebells. And that's inspiring. And so thank you very much for your advice. I would be very happy if you can just give a very strong message out here to the Indian lifters who are above 45, and how can they get started with the kettlebell sport. If you can just share your experience.
Well, sure. Yeah, 45. You're still a young guy at 45.
Yes.
And you can still hit a peak with a sport like kettlebells. I think the peak comes later. So you can still get stronger for a long time from the age of 45.
Yes.
And there's no reason to stop with kettlebells particularly, because as you get older, you can just reduce the weight that you're lifting.
Yes.
Now, it goes against the grain with ego sometimes,
Yes.
but I think the point of the advice to me is just don't stop doing a sport, whether it's kettlebells or something else. Just never stop. There's no need to ever stop, really. You know, if I stopped kettlebells, I'd probably start going to a judo club again, and I'd just compete in veterans at judo.
Yes. Yes.
So just don't stop. But the point is, enjoy it. It's for fun. You know,
Yes.
it's for fun. Don't take yourself too seriously. You know, don't worry if your numbers go down as you get older. That's bound to happen.
Okay.
Don't stop because of that. Yeah, just keep going.
Great. Thank you very much. So when is your next competition, Brian?
Well,
which one is the next one?
It's in a couple of days' time. It's on Saturday. We have the English Kettlebell Open, which is run by the KBN club that Del Wilson heads up in Northampton.
Okay.
So it's marathon, half marathon, double pentathlon, and World Games. I'm supposed to be doing the half snatch 10 minutes with this 40 kilo. To be honest, I'm not sure I'm up to it because I've got a rather sore back. So we'll see on the day.
Okay.
Take a decision.
Okay.
I will have a busy day anyway because I'm doing all score sheets.
Okay.
And, in fact, when we finish the interview, I need to go finish the spreadsheets off.
Okay. Wow. Wish you good luck for the upcoming competition, and I'm sure in one of the competitions we will definitely meet up.
Yeah, guess so. Lovely to talk to you, Parag.
Okay, thank you.